Now I'm going to take a look at custom textures, and there are two types of these. There are seamless textures, which we use for creating terrain, and these are repeated again and again across the course, and because we make them seamless, hopefully you don't see the joins, although when you come to create your own you'll find out how difficult this actually is to do, and we get this effect called tiling where you actually can see the individual textures rather than a continuous, believable terrain. So I'm going to deal with these in a separate video, in a few videos time, but we'll just take a quick look at how they work. So if I select this texture, copy it, and I'll just paste it onto a larger canvas. So just position it there, and if I hold out down I can duplicate it, and you'll see as it's duplicated it fits perfectly. The top fits perfectly with the bottom, the left fits perfectly with the right, and you end up hopefully with a texture that still looks like one piece of grass rather than four separate ones. This is actually a McCoy's texture. It's excellent green texture that I used on Darwin Point. So that's how they work. So we've obviously got to make the sides, the tops and the bottoms all match up, and this is going to make our work harder. So that's how the seamless textures work. Another type of texture though that we will create are the non-seamless. They're just individual things that we're going to add, maybe signs, fronts to buildings, that sort of thing, where you can just copy any image. This is the sign I decided to put on the Darwin Point Golf Club clubhouse, and these, it doesn't matter because they haven't got to be repeated. They're only going to appear once in the confines that you set them. So you're going to set verts on your objects for the right proportions, and then just map. We've done mappings in previous videos. Just map the texture on to our 3D objects that we've created on the course. So we can basically put anything we like, photos, cut out photos, and we just got to put them on a background and save them in the right format, and that's pretty much all there is to creating the non-seamless type of textures. So I'm just going to go through sizes and formats, and this will be useful to know for the next videos, which I'm going to deal with creating 3D from terrain, and you'll probably want to map textures onto those when you create them. So click this. The max size that you can have a texture, if you're dealing with 106 or earlier versions of links, is 512 by 512. Anything larger will crash the game. They added larger textures to 107, so you can actually go up to 1024 by 1024 now, which most courses that are being released now use. I think probably 9 out of 10 courses have got these on, so you'll need the 107 mod on links if you're going to use these textures. And one point to make is that the textures don't actually need to be square. Although 99% of the textures you'll find people have created are square, they don't have to be. You can create long thin ones, short fat ones, as long as you stick to the rule of power of 2. So the numbers 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, all the way up to your maximum size are valid sizes for your textures. So 256 by 64, that's fine. If you save a texture in that, you can load it into APCD and links will recognize it as a valid texture. The only problem you have with these off square textures, when you put them in the APCD, they'll still display in a square, and so it will be a stretched version of your texture. You won't get a real view when you go into APCD of what the texture is actually like, but as soon as you apply it, it will be fine. So And last but not least, the format. Now, textures are a little bit different from 2D objects and panos because they don't have an alpha channel. So we actually save them as TGA 24 bits. Now I think you can get away with saving them as 32 and I think they still work. But really you're just wasting memory if you do that because it's not actually going to use the last channel, which is usually reserved for an alpha. So 24-bit TGA is the way to go. If I just try and save this one. I need to just get rid of these other layers first. Flatten my image. So to save it, we go Save As. We don't want an alpha channel, so if that's ticked, I don't think it will be, but if it is, you can always untick it. But I think when you save it as a 24-bit, it will remove the alpha anyway. So give the file a name. Call this sign 2, and it'll ask me what bits, and I select 24. Don't tick the compression. I don't think APCD or Links likes compressed files, so never tick this compressed option. There's probably a similar thing on other paint programs, and GIMP's probably got its own version. So if you see anything that looks like it's going to compress it, turn it off. So I'll click OK, and that will save the texture ready to use in APCD and Links.